Welcome back to Hiking with Kathleen. We're on a ferry that we've just boarded in order to head out to Fogo Island. We're just on the verge of leaving mainland Newfoundland, the town of Farewell, an appropriately named town, and we're going to be exploring Fogo Island over the next 4 or 5 days. We hope you join us. We're on the move. So I guess this ferry had to turn around. So now we're heading in the direction it steers in. And I see we only left about 5 vehicles on shore, because you can't reserve. You just show up. And we got here 45 minutes early. And we had no problem. There were probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 vehicles that arrived after us. So there's room for everybody. So we're just sitting on the upper deck, and we are at the back of the ferry. So we're not finding it windy at all. It's about 20 degrees. This is a perfect spot. Time for us to get on board on our vehicle. I wonder how Miley enjoyed that. Probably not very well. So Shannon and I arrived here probably about an hour ago. We didn't have as much to set up with regards to our trailer. And the reason is we didn't put out a dining shelter, didn't take our bikes down. Not that we're not going to. Just set up the cat tent and got things all settled in our trailer. And then look at this. This is the view right across from our site. This is what I will be able to drink coffee to in the morning. Now I did bring a spotting scope, so I'll have a chance to put that on another tripod and keep an eye on what other kinds of wildlife I might see in this bay area. So this campground is called Brimstone on Fogo Island, and it's run by the Lions Club. So we made our reservations, and you know, they had a space for us. So I'll give you a chance to see what this campground looks like. It's an RV park, so everybody's side by side. We have 2 services. We've been spoiled with 3. So we have electrical hookups and water hookups. I know. So everybody has this view. Everybody is facing the beach. And today just happened to be a really warm day. It's about 25 degrees Celsius. And it's going to be cooler the next few days. So this was a really great day to arrive and get a feel for the place. Yeah, so a pretty simple setup. Just backing the trailer in and everybody's side by side. But everybody's really friendly here. So that's been a really neat thing to find. In fact, we're in Newfoundland. A lot of the people that they've lined up here are from Ontario. So it's been a fun thing to find that out.
This is just something, eh? It's like we're on a movie set.
So we're just off doing some exploring right now. I was scanning the ocean area, the beach area where we are set up for our camp, and just wanted to see what kind of interesting sights there might be around there. And so right now, we're just, I guess, going to explore as far as our feet can bring us. Just really interesting. Lots of rock, but also a quaint little town, and we basically just had to drive through it when we were towing our trailer. So now we're going to take some time and get to see it a little bit. Good morning. We're here on our first morning at Fogo Island, so day 2, and we're just heading up the Brimstone Head Trail, and the campground is called Brimstone Head, right?
That's correct.
So anyways, we're gonna have a chance to check it out. Earlier today, because I got up at 4:30, I saw an Arctic fox, mostly the tail end of it, but I saw an Arctic fox sort of running along through these hills foraging for food. So that was really cool. So we're going for a hike up here. We're going to see what else we can find. Yeah, I went lightweight this time. I didn't bring all my big camera gear. Of course, I had that while viewing the beach from our site this morning. But I just have my binoculars, point and shoot camera, and of course this GoPro. That's so that if I needed to, I had tracking poles that I could use to get up this hill. Now comes the climb. So we just finished getting to the platform at the top of Brimstone Head Trail, and it's a magnificent view from up there. Very, very windy. In fact, as soon as you come down off the platform, it's less windy, and you can really feel that there's a big difference when you're not protected by anything. What were your impressions?
Yeah, it wasn't that strenuous of a hike, to be honest, but there were some, jagged rocks and that to navigate, but it wasn't that bad of a hike at all. I mean, I can do it, so.
Yeah, but you're active.
But it was a good hike. It worth the viewpoint for sure. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was actually nice looking back over the little village or port, whatever you want to call it, that we're staying in.
Yeah, so I guess the town of Fogo. I think that's what that is.
Yeah, I guess it is the town of Fogo. There's a bunch of little towns all on this island, but I guess this is the Fogo Island part.
Yeah.
If someone wants to correct us on that, that's okay, but
yeah, but anyway, so it was a neat trek up. Trekking poles are fun to have, just in case you lose your balance on those jagged rocks. But it's also not necessary if you plan to do this particular hike. So, and it was also neat to be able to see the perspective of our campground, and just on the other side of that same little cove was an actual, neighborhood of houses you couldn't really see because of the way our beach or our cove area is situated. So anyway, yeah, it was neat to be able to be on top of the world in this end of the world. Windy it gets as you get close to the top.
I have blown away.
I gotta hang on to her so she doesn't blow away.
My pants are like a kite.
Okay, I gotta put the camera away. I gotta hang on to my wife.
My pants are like a kite. I'm holding on.
So when we were at that second pinnacle, that second platform, we saw a couple sitting there, and then we ran into a couple of women who were just coming up from the side that we're now leaving by. And interestingly enough, they were both from Ontario, one from Grand Bend, which is near Pinery, which is where we were a couple of weeks ago, and the other from Sault Ste. Marie, which was on the way to Lake Superior Provincial Park, which we explored last summer in 2021. So anyway, it's just interesting because then we offered to take each other's pictures, you know, while we're up at the pinnacle. So it's a lot less windy. We're enjoying that, and you can really feel the heat of the sun now. Today's high, I guess, is heading up to about 23 degrees, so not too bad. But we started off when it was about 18, and that was actually quite comfortable. We're coming down just at the right time when it's starting to heat up here. So anyway, we'll continue on this journey and explore the town a little bit, because yesterday was Monday, and I guess a lot of places are closed on Monday, but then they open for business today, Tuesday. There we go.
There's treasures in here. I love shelling. It reminds me of being in Florida when I was a kid. My brother and I would shell for hours looking for shark's teeth and stuff. Then my grandfather would go conch shelling, and they steamed them in the back of the building, and yeah, sell the conch shells to the local craft stores. That's good.
Kind of nice to have a bit of a rest.
Oh yeah. That one was a little more strenuous than the last one.
So I just checked my Fitbit. For those of you who have Fitbits and like those numbers, is about 9,000 steps, about 70 flights of stairs, and I don't remember any of the other numbers right now, but those are the ones I checked about 2 minutes ago. So it's just kind of nice. We got a view, have a little break, and we are now in town. So we're going to walk through town on our way back, and I guess there are some art shops that are going to be open today. So we're going to see what's open and see what we might want to go back and see maybe in more detail. I didn't bring my ID or my money or anything. No, we just came out with trekking poles. That's it. So we just got back from our hike, and so we just walked from the other end of town up to, back to the campground. And the thing that we noticed is it's almost like flashback in time, because You walk by people who are cutting their grass, people who are driving by in their personal vehicle, and people wave. They look up from whatever it is they're doing. They have eye contact with you, they wave and they smile. And we found that really refreshing because I guess, you know, back home, we're not in a small community where people tend to be maybe less hurried. So that's the charm of being in a smaller community. And I found that in Newfoundland, people are just willing to stop and start talking to you right away in terms of, you know, asking if you're from here and what it is what are your travel plans? What do you hope to do when you're here? And they have time. They have time and they make time in order to, I guess, offer that hospitality. And the hospitality really just comes with having eye contact with us and lending an ear. And offering advice if we're looking for ideas on what places are open, where can we get a good meal, and the kind of meal we're looking for. So anyway, we were really pleasantly surprised. So we're feeling really good about our choice to be here on Fogo Island. That's cool that there's green frogs here. Well, we just returned to the trailer. We went for a hike to the Lion's Den. I'm so glad that Shannon suggested going. We'd heard from a few people that it was worth going to. It absolutely was a great trail. Got to see it in the fog, and magically the fog lifted at say about 9:30 or so this morning, and that's when the mosquitoes came out. So we were on it at absolutely the right time. That shroud of fog actually created sort of a mystique to the trail itself. So, and then we went out for a really great lunch, just a nice, easy experience. The name of the restaurant was
Bang Belly.
Bang Belly. So, and we'd had a latte there a few days ago, so it was nice to have an actual sit-down meal. So now that we're sort of wrapping up with Fogo Island, it's been a great experience. And I guess now we want to go through some of the things we loved about it and some of the things that we were a little bit disappointed about. So maybe, why don't we go off with your list? What are the things you loved about Fogo Island?
Oh, first and foremost, the people are amazing here. They are so friendly. They'll bend over backwards to help you. And yeah, you just feel safe here. You feel like it's such a small knit community, and they just welcome you into it. That was my favorite. I mean, the landscape is breathtaking. It's just a peaceful place to be.
Yeah, and so I guess to that, I would add that, it was great being able to take some good visuals. You can see behind. That was our morning treat, and an all-day treat to be able to see our view of the ocean right from the trailer. So there was that. They had great weather. Okay, we are leaving tomorrow, which is July 1st, 2022. The weather here has been amazing. I understand that they don't normally get this kind of weather, where we're in the 20s right now, 20 degrees Celsius range, and so we really lucked out with the kind of dry, warm weather that we've been receiving. Being here in an RV park was a great experience. We got along really well with our neighbors, and so this is something that we would do again. It's not the same sort of feel as being in an RV park in, I don't know, other cities or provinces where everybody's sort of lined up, and here everybody's from somewhere pretty different, and you get to bond over that. Let's talk about some of the things that might have been a bit of a letdown. One of the reasons I think Shannon wanted to come here was to experience some of the arts community. So what is it you would say about that?
Yeah, that was one of my highlights to come here, and everything is closed. Their museums, their art galleries, a lot of their stores are closed until July the 1st. We thought we would come and beat the summer traffic and before the kids got out of school, and yeah.
We did. we beat the traffic.
But missed out on why I wanted to come here, but I'm not disappointed with the beauty anyway. So yeah, it's a great place to come.
And one of the other downsides that I would say is that if you're coming here for wildlife viewing, yes, there is some. But where we are from in Ontario, namely southwestern Ontario, there's a plethora of wildlife. Birds, mammals, reptiles, amphibians. There's not a lot here. I mean, there's a lot of beauty, but there's not a lot of variety to the wildlife. The birds are the things that are easily able to get here because they fly here. You get insects, certainly mosquitoes have found their way. Apparently they don't have ticks, but I think part of that is because we don't have white-tailed deer here. So
no snakes.
Which disappointed, or? That disappointed me. We did hear green frogs today when we were out on that trail, and reptiles and amphibians are not among the animals that you would expect to see or hear from here, other than sea turtles, because they can swim here. So anyway, that was meant to give you a bit of an overview of Fogo Island. Overall, it was an amazing experience, and in some ways we're sad to say goodbye to it tomorrow when we head out to the ferry and head on to Gross Morn. We hope that you join us then. Thanks for watching. Bye.